Thank you, Mr President. I rise to support the Biodiversity Bill before us. This well-intentioned bill recognises the importance of biodiversity and seeks to bring South Australia into line with other jurisdictions by responding to the current inadequate protections. Globally, biodiversity loss and ecosystem degradation are major concerns. Species extinction is at previously unimaginable levels. Human health is positively and directly impacted not only by biodiversity but by the quality of biodiversity. Whilst we often fail to recognise the extent to which we depend upon them, the ecosystem services are invaluable to the provision of clean air, water and food. Indeed, when we fail to protect biodiversity, we fail to protect those very resources, which are so fundamental to all life on Earth and all our lives on Earth. Evidence shows that exposure to a range of plants within a landscape, whether it be natural or created, may contribute both directly and indirectly to reductions in both acute and chronic health effects of air pollution, such as allergies, asthma, cardiovascular diseases and premature death. Not only do we benefit from biodiversity as humans, but the higher the quality of biodiversity, the more we benefit. It's absolutely in our best interests as a species to better protect biodiversity. Indeed, evidence shows that the loss of species from an ecosystem can significantly impact the capacity of that ecosystem to deliver these critically important ecosystem services, whether those services mitigate heat, noise or air pollution or mediate human health and well-being. So it's great to see that recognition also of First Nations knowledge is embedded in this bill. This sees, as far as practicable, First Nations knowledge sought, considered and applied in a range of instances. In what is a groundbreaking move for South Australian legislation, the bill recognises a much broader range of animal species, with invertebrates being included, many of which play crucial roles in our ecosystems. While there have been concerns expressed about the Native Vegetation Act being absorbed by this bill, it does put into place stronger requirements than the existing Native Vegetation Act. It requires, for instance, evidence that the mitigation hierarchy has been worked through by those applicants who seek to remove native vegetation. The current Native Vegetation Act has no such requirement. This bill requires that not only Native Plant Clearance Assessment Committee is satisfied that the mitigation hierarchy has been applied with respect of the proposed clearance, but also that they take into account the potential cumulative impact, both direct and indirect, that are reasonably expected to result from the proposed clearance. There are many across the state who will be pleased to hear this, as there has been a developing community awareness of the cumulative impacts of losses, such as we see with these. Those who have advocated for stronger tree protections have cited cumulative impacts as being fundamentally missing from the decision-making process. I also commend the government on the requirement for the Native Plants Clearance Assessment Committee to be convinced that the mitigation hierarchy has been exhausted before accepting the need for an applicant to pay into an offset fund, rather than carry out that offset planting themselves. For clearances that relate to safety and fire prevention, the bill explicitly spells out the circumstances under which such clearances are permitted. They are much cleaner than what has been seen elsewhere regarding emergency removal of clearer than what has been seen elsewhere regarding emergency removal of protected trees, whether native or exotic, for instance. It is this level of clarity that removes the wriggle room that has for far too long allowed the removal of large native trees under questionable circumstances. There will be amendments to this bill to further improve it, ensuring, for instance, that native vegetation clearances designed purely for primary production properties apply only to those properties, rather than applying to significant parts of the metro area. I also will see amendments that increase transparency and accountability, and look forward to supporting those, such as that consultation is not solely at ministerial discretion, but remains part and parcel of reviews of the bill to become an act. We intend, of course, in the debate to bring back the capacity for the Conservation Council to nominate a representative for the environment sector to the Native Plants Clearance Assessment Committee, and as the peak body for the environment in this state, it is fitting that the council is able to nominate a representative. I also intend to use My vote to ensure that all native vegetation clearances from applications through to approvals are listed on the Plan SA portal, in addition to any other sites where they may be required to be listed. The Plan SA portal is part of the state's new Planning and Design Code and was sold to us as being the one-stop shop for all development applications and approvals. Native vegetation clearances are inevitably tied to development of some kind, and so it makes sense to include them in this portal. This would also ensure that the register of clearances would be more accurately updated. Finally, the bill concentrates much power in the hands of the Minister for the Environment. Indeed, entire areas can be carved out either temporarily or permanently, or the Act suspended for a period of time. This bill has much to recommend it, and I do commend the Malinauskas Government and the Department for the work that has gone into it. I would also like to acknowledge the significant community input that was received during the consultation period, which was extensive. This is a key aspect of participatory democracy and has ultimately led not just to this bill, but to an improved bill and hopefully to support for the amendments that I have outlined. On that note, I would like to thank my advisor, Joanna Wells, for the extraordinary level of effort she's put into supporting me on the debate on this bill, but indeed also Emily Gore and Minister Close's office for the fine work that they have done and continue to do as we work through the amendments that are tabled, as well as the good work in particular of the EDO, who had made quite an extensive submission to this bill, and Michael Cornish, who I know has gone above and beyond in lending his expertise into ensuring that this debate on this bill sees the best bill that this Parliament can produce at this time. With that, I look forward to the committee stage.